He was once a kid drifting through the rough streets of London, a boy who saw no future for himself. Now he stands under Hollywood's brightest lights. Yet his acting is so intensely real that many viewers once believed he might actually be the dangerous man he played. Fans often say he's one of the few actors today who can portray madness with genuine sophistication. But to me, Tom Hardy's appeal goes far beyond playing villains. What makes him unforgettable is the emotional force and artistic ambition buried inside every character he creates. If you're meeting Tom Hardy for the first time, his range alone might shock you. He can be Eames, the charming and sharp-witted forger in Inception, or Fitzgerald, the cruel, brooding hunter in The Revenant, or Eddie Brock, the chaotic, goofy reporter who shares his body with a monster in Venom. Tom Hardy was born into a thoroughly artistic London household, a painter mother and a Cambridge-educated writer father. Naturally, people expected him to grow up polished, secure, and destined for an elite future. But Hardy was born wired the opposite way. To him, elite education felt like a cage, and the wild fire inside him only burned hotter. He grew up wrapped in disorder, ADHD, hyperactivity, anger, impulsiveness, and spiraled into drinking and fighting. At 16, he even committed armed robbery. His life was right on the edge of collapse. That was the first time he stared straight into the abyss. His devastated parents made the painful decision to send him to a juvenile detention facility. Yet it was that bottom-of-the-world struggle that later became the deepest well of power behind all his performances. Years later, in Warrior, he played Tommy Reardon, a fighter haunted by war, trapped inside his own emotions. Hardy poured all the isolation, rage, and shame he once felt in detention into the role. And that film was the moment Hollywood finally recognized his depth. For a long time, people assumed Hardy was only suited for beast-like characters. But in 2010, he met the person who changed everything, Christopher Nolan. Nolan, like a patient tamer, saw the intelligence and dry humor hidden beneath Hardy's ferocity. That meeting began their golden era of collaboration. In The Dark Knight Rises, even with his face covered, Hardy dominated the entire screen. As Bane, masked with minimal lines, he built an iconic philosophical brute almost entirely with his eyes and physical presence. When superhero films exploded in popularity, nearly every actor wanted a piece of that world. Hardy was no exception. He signed on for 3 Venom films. Why this morally gray anti-hero? Partly because his son was a huge Venom and Spider-Man fan, and taking the role was a way to make his kid happy. But also because the character's complexity captivated him. Chaotic, dark, justice-seeking, yet unexpectedly kind through its bond with Eddie. Hardy once said he used Venom as a mirror to examine his own nature. Critics were divided when Venom came out, calling the plot messy, but the movie still earned $855.6 million worldwide, making it the 7th highest grossing film of 2018. The sequel, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, premiered in 2021, and though not reaching the same heights, still made $500 million and again ranked 7th that year. So when we talk about Tom Hardy, we're not just talking about an actor. We're not just talking about roles. We're talking about a man who clawed his way out of the dark and transformed every scar on his body and mind into raw, undeniable power on screen.